Hi guys, welcome to another hints and tips video for Stardew Valley. This one's a more intermediate one. I have got one for the beginning of the game, so why not check that out first and come back. Anyway, these ones hopefully will get you on further on. There is some spoilers, but there will be a spoiler warning, so don't worry about it. Anyway, let's get started. One of the hardest things, in my opinion, on this game to do is level up fishing, especially if you suck at it as bad as I do. One way to make it a little bit easier is go down to Willie's shop on the beach and buy trout soup. It's 250 gold and it lasts for about 4.5 minutes, and it immediately levels you one level up from what you are, and it will help you level up. They don't stack, unfortunately, so you might have to buy more than one. Near the beginning of the game, or hell, even into the first year, your energy bar will always be depleted, like constantly. You can't do anything without that thing in the red. So an easy way to sort of keep this up is either keep a bit of your crops back and save them, the ones preferably that give you the most energy, or if you do a lot of foraging, you can go get the berries and stuff that are laying around. You can usually find dozens of them, and they don't sell for very much. They also don't get much from jams, so instead eat them. They'll give you a bit more energy to water more of your crops until you can get better tools and better weapons to be able to last longer and do more. When you start a new game, you'll see that your farm is a little bit of a mess. And if you're anything like me, you can't leave it like this. You have to tidy every single inch up. But one thing you should refrain from doing is cutting the grass, because if you buy a silo, all that grass becomes hay and that feeds your animals. What you should do is save as much of it as you can, buy a silo, or maybe even two if you can afford it, before winter, and then just as winter's about to hit, 27th of fall, cut all the grass and it will instantly fill up the silos. And you can use that as free food for your animals. But if you were to buy it from the shop, it's 50 per one. Now for something really quick that caught me out, and it might not have caught you out because I'm stupid and you're not, is the month actually only has 28 days and not 30. So when I planted a lot of crops on the 25th of the month thinking, oh, they'll be ready for the 30th, they weren't, and I lost them all. Next up is a bit of a twofer. I know it's one of the earliest missions you get in the game, but don't buy the chicken coop till at least a year in, because the chickens are expensive. You have to buy a heater, all the hay, and the building itself. You just can't afford it. Even a year in, it's really expensive. So when you're at the point of buying the chicken coop, or you already have one and thinking of upgrading, you should immediately upgrade it to level 2. That way you can buy ducks. Now ducks drop duck eggs, which are way better than normal eggs anyway. A normal egg will give you 50 gold, where a duck egg will give you 95. And normal male will give you 190 gold, where duck male will give you 375 gold. The only downside to this is a duck will drop an egg every 2 days on average, unless it really loves you. And the ducks can drop feathers as well that sell for really good money. Right guys, now is just spoiler warning. Everything after this point has a lot to do with the community bundles and bits and bobs of the place you won't know until about year 2 to 3. So I'm not want to spoil anything. Next up, instead of doing the community bundles, you can go to Jojo Mart and buy a membership to fix up the community centre. But instead of items, this costs quite a lot of money, but it is an easier alternative to getting a house fixed. Next up, the Secret Forest. This is located just north of the Wizard Tower. And if you have a steel axe, you can get into it. And what this does is it opens up a supply of hardwood that renews every single day. If you go down once a day, and I advise you do, you can get 12 hardwood every single day. And this is handy in crafting, and you will need it as a building materials for later on. Next up, every Friday and Sunday, a travelling cart will turn up just next to the secret forest. She sells random items at random prices, and depending on what you're after, you could be in luck or out of it. But it's worth checking every Friday and Sunday. Next one to aim for is completing the pantry bundle, which will get you the greenhouse. And the greenhouse will let you grow any crop in any season. And it is one of the best ones to get, straight after the minecart, of course, just for cutting around town. Next up, if you get one of the renewable seeds, ones that kick out fruit like the blueberries or the strawberries every couple of days, you can just buy one of them or save one of them, and when you get the seed maker, you can put one of the fruits into the seed maker and get seeds for that. Sometimes you can get lucky and get 3, 2, but you'll always get at least one, and this is an easy way to suddenly make one plant fill a whole field. Taking a little bit of my own advice, I filled the greenhouse full of hot plants, just starting with one hot plant and the seed maker. Now I get on average 67 a day. And if you're willing to wait a little bit longer and put them into kegs, you can make 67 pale ales every 2 days. And for your comparison, I've shown them on screen now, just to give you a price difference. Bear in mind, I do get a 40% increase thanks to my farming skill. Right guys, that was some more of my hints and tips for Stardew Valley. Hopefully you found them useful, and if you know anything that I don't, whack them in the comments below. It will help me out, I'm still playing it myself. Anyway, if you would, like, share and subscribe, it helps me out immensely. And uploads now are usually on a Tuesday, so please, why not try watching a couple of other videos? Alright, bye.